Hello, welcome to game 3 of my big games match against Folivora, tied 1-1. We've got trashing with research, lookout, plan. We've got plus actions, the only places in tactician. Draws with ranger, envoy, research potentially. Scepter ranger can kind of do some stuff. We've also got imps. And I think I kind of want to get some imps going. I just want to get caravans going as well. If I had 3-4, I might consider opening plan on caravan. With 4-3, I think I'm going to open caravan lookout. Then grab Devil's Workshop. Try to get thin that way. You can also consider research lookout. But that deck's quite a bit harder to hit any kind of price points. And I do want to keep adding, try to keep adding 4 costs into the deck. Mostly caravans, then some Devil's Workshops, and I don't know, like the Scepter Ranger stuff has worked. I have seen it work before. It's a little bit tough to get it to work. Where you play a Ranger and then you Scepter it, and then you can just play all your treasures. So that works in a deck that has a couple of Rangers and a bunch of Scepters and treasures. It doesn't really work with caravans because the caravans are drawn dead by that. So that's sort of a mark against it. It's important to note fleet. You've got to get fleet at some point. When you get it is difficult to know, but it is one of the more important aspects. So you don't think you're winning the game on province and set yourself up for a bad next turn, and then your opponent can get 2 duchies or something. There's no way to make tactician work really. There's all the payload is in treasures. I think that's poorhouse, but you can only play 2 poorhouses on the tactician turn. And I think you can build the province in other ways here. I wonder if the ranger scepter stuff works with like warehouse, where you play a couple of warehouses. Basically, you discard all of your treasures into your discard pile to find the ranger and scepter, and then get that going. Okay, so this was not a great draw, and I can't really do anything for 2. If I'm going to have a terminal, is Poorhouse a good terminal to have? So Scepter Poorhouse doesn't work at all either. And I'm planning on increasing my hand size with Caravan, so I think the Poorhouse is too early. They're also hitting 2 on their lookout turn, which is good. They paired it with a Devil's Workshop, which will either be a gold or like a caravan. I hope to be able to get a Devil's Workshop here. Otherwise, I think I just get 1 silver. Again, the warehouse is not making it super easy for me to hit 4 with a lookout deck, and I want to keep playing the lookout. Wow, they gained a copper. Okay, I've trashed, want to stay at 1 copper, played the lookout. So then I need to plan on caravan here. I'm planning on buying a couple more caravans. And I should be able to hit 4 next turn, although I think I'm going to buy a Devil's Workshop next turn, so I'll buy a silver here. Hopefully draw my lookout would be the best card to draw. What did they gain with the Devil's Workshop? They gained Copper Caravan. It feels... I might have considered just taking a gold there. I'm not sure. I didn't really want to hit 6. There's nothing I want to buy with 6 other than Devil's Workshop, so I guess I'm overpaying for the Devil's Workshop now. I don't think I need more than 1 Devil's Workshop. I've got Lookout, Caravan, Warehouse. I'll have 3... and Caravan in order to be able to play. So Imp I could potentially play on Warehouse, but that's it. So maybe you only want 1 Imp in the deck. I'll put Plan now in Caravan. Hopefully draw a copper here. Gain a couple Caravans. Did not draw a copper. Okay, so... I guess I'm taking the warehouse now for the sifting and try to find the caravans faster. play the Lookout first coming up here, so then draw into whatever I decide to keep on top with the Caravan. Fully did the same thing. Makes complete sense. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Okay. So the deck that I'm talking about building needs money from something. Where is that money coming from? Golds? So at some point I need to buy a gold to make sure my economy is going. That was why I'm a little surprised Folivora didn't get a gold on the turn when they bought a copper. I know it's slower, but okay. So play Warehouse first, or play Caravan first. I have 2 caravans down there, right? So I don't think it matters. I think I play Warehouse first, though. Trash a copper, discard a copper, and then I can draw up to this. So I've got 4. Got 1 copper down there, so I want to hit 6 next turn, so I'm going to gain a silver. Buy a silver, gain the last caravan. So now that we've emptied the caravans, the question is, are we going for this? Am I going for this Ranger Scepter thing, where you buy golds and scepters and get a couple of Rangers and just you filter with warehouses and caravans, and then you really only need a couple of Rangers in that deck, and then maybe you only need 1 Ranger in that deck if you're finding it reliably, and then you're sceptering the Ranger to draw back all the treasures that you discarded with your warehouses. I think sort of either way I go, I'm getting a gold this turn because my money's gotten low. And then next turn, get a Ranger, or I can get Gold Ranger in the same turn, right? And then next turn, potentially get Scepter. I guess I've got stuff I want to play here. Lookout. So I've got the gold now. I think I'm going to go for this Ranger plan. So next turn I'll have 9 or 8 and buy like a Scepter, another warehouse. I've got my caravans balanced. I usually check the spectator list to see if Jane Els is around before buying gold. So they won the caravan split 6-4. I think I hit 3 one more time than expectation because they hit, or just the early Devil's Workshop paid off faster. Maybe that's the case. It's not the end of the world. I have a plan. And I mean, if they just go Province here, then I'm going to build for 1 turn, add Scepter, Silver or something, and then I should be able to reliably add multiple pieces in a turn. That they can't do because they don't have a plus buy. And if you don't find a Ranger, you can Scepter an Imp, I guess, and then the Imp can play the Ranger. That's the thing that you can do. I don't think it's very good, but it is logically a thing that one can do. Okay, they just got another gold. And they take their own. Okay, they're going for something different than what I would have thought they were going for. Okay. So I'm going to play this lookout anyways, I think, so I might as well. Trash copper. Okay, Ranger's in play. So the question is, do I want an imp this turn? Or do I just want... I probably do want an imp. I'm probably going to take Scepter. And yeah, like next turn I don't necessarily have to play the Scepter, right? If I don't want to. I shouldn't need to play the Scepter if I don't want to. I can play it for coins, to get you up to 9 or 10, whatever my number is. The Ranger can dead draw. Actually, the Devil's Workshop as well can be dead drawn. So I'm going to take Scepter, Copper, Devil's Workshop. I do need to pick up my... I do need to pick up the second... what do I need to pick up? The second warehouse to make sure I'm drawing through the deck to get all the caravans in play. But I should start to have quite a bit of money here. We'll see what they're doing if they're going for multiple imps. The imps only have 2 targets, right? The warehouse and the lookout. So I'm not really sure what the second imp is doing for them. What the second Devil's Workshop is doing. I mean, it's gaining imps, but I'm not sure what more imps is doing for you. Now are they greening is the question. I think I can catch up if I let them green 1 turn. So basically let them get 2 provinces, and then I grab province build, and then province, duchy, estate or something. That doesn't, the math there doesn't work out. I have to get to double province on my last turn. But so yeah, so province build, then they get 3 to 1. Then I get province. Estate build a little bit more, and then they get the 6th province, and I get the last 2 provinces, something like that, or I get the last 2 provinces in the estate. It feels a little bit awkward to get that to work. I can also just green now in the position of my deck, take a province and another warehouse, a province, and a silver or something, and have the Ranger ready for the Scepter stuff. Scepter Poorhouse actually does kind of work. The first Poorhouse is 3, but this if you play a Scepter on it, you get 7 total. A little bit sad. So this was quite nice. So what am I discarding? The question is, am I playing the Lookout? I guess I have a copper down there. I think I do need to play the Lookout. I have a copper in the bottom of the deck. I'm going to play 2 caravans. I don't really want to pop the Ranger this turn without needing to. Although I guess I can play the Ranger and then Scepter it for another buy. Okay. Treasures. So I've got 11 here. 9 or 11. Probably take 11. And I can just go like Scepter Gold. Imp. I do want to get another warehouse to make sure my deck is running. So do I want to get like Gold Warehouse? Gold Warehouse Imp. And the Imp is not particularly good anymore. I might even consider trashing this Devil's Workshop. Maybe I'll get 1 more Imp just for that. So yeah, so Gold Warehouse. And 1 more Imp. And then potentially look to trash this Imp next turn. Trash this Devil's Workshop next turn. I also need to get another Scepter. They got a Scepter Ranger last turn too, so they're on board with this plan now. Their deck is a little bit more reliable with 3 caravans coming in. I have the extra warehouse now, and an extra silver, and potentially some extra coppers, which are not great. I still want to trash them, but They did not find the warehouse this turn, which is actually not terrible. You can get to 9. If they find a scepter, they can get to 11. They may have more imps. I'm not quite sure what these 3 cards are. Lookout, silver. Do they only have 1 imp? Okay, they did have another scepter. You can play imp and then you can't ever play the caravan is the problem. Unfortunately, their deck was in a better state. They were able to pivot to my Ranger Scepter plan, whether they knew that or not. They were able to pivot to it later and seemingly work it out. Oh, they could have the warehouse in hand, I guess. They probably do have the warehouse in hand. Although, no, I mean, if they can't have the warehouse in hand. They can have 2 Devil's Workshops in hand, I guess is what they have. They've also got a silver and a warehouse in the deck. That makes sense. There's 6 coppers between us, so that's all their coppers. It's all their golds. So yeah, warehouse, Devil's Workshop, copper, silver, something like that. No, they don't have any coppers left in the deck. It's something for me to think about while they're thinking. Try to track their deck. So 2 Devil's Workshops, silver, warehouse, lookout. Okay. I did it. I can see how they don't want to play the lookout. Okay, come on. Find a workshop. A warehouse or an imp or a caravan. Got lots of things I can find here. All right, that's all great. Play the warehouse next. Discard the stuff I don't want. Unfortunately, that's all of the stuff I don't want. Okay, but I can play the imp here into the lookout, trashing a copper, discarding a imp. Yep, okay. So I guess I'm just playing this ranger no matter what, so the warehouse is not useful to me. Okay, so I've got 11. I want to get another scepter, another warehouse, and perhaps another silver. The ranger again, scepter, warehouse, silver. I do not want to gain any more imps, so I won't do that. Scepter, warehouse, silver. I'm slowly starting to regret the awkwardness of this build. However, the previous starting 5 cards was bad. This starting 5 cards is very, very good. I wonder if they hadn't seen me going for it, if they were just going to start provincing. So it's quite an awkward engine. I tried to get it working in ladder a few weeks ago, and it was, I think I ended up winning, but it was not like, it didn't feel good, the state of the game. So they've drawn deck here. They've got just the 2 Devil's Workshops left. They were able to imp both things. And I mean, I guess if you continue to have coppers, which at some point we will run out of, Although I guess if we're sceptering the Ranger a whole bunch of times, we're not. The deck, I think, requires a lot of warehouses to work, or a lot of caravans. So they've got an extra card to make it work. But really, you want to make sure if you can imp the warehouse, imp the lookout every turn. Yeah, like the math is not super friendly to this sifting through the whole deck with warehouses at the beginning. You need more warehouses than you have draw, although we have been overdrawn. I feel like they're also just hands where the imps feel bad, like you'd much rather have a warehouse in your hand in that spot than an imp. They might take one more imp here and then stop. We will see. These decks also don't do great necessarily once we start greening, although not terrible. We are overdrawing and sifting and stuff. So the question is, do I just get up to 16 and start taking double provinces? Or, usually in an engine like this, you're happy that the Devil's Workshop is printing you imps at the end because you've got villages, you've got different pieces, and here the imp is doing very little. It's just because we have exactly 3 uniques and there's no really chance we're ever going to add any more. Got another scepter. Province doesn't seem unreasonable to me. Gold doesn't seem unreasonable to me. It's somewhat awkward buying gold when you have 8 2-buys, but that's the life we live here. And Scepter Warehouse doesn't feel unreasonable to me either. The Scepter at worst is just an expensive silver at the end if you don't end up using it for the Rangers. So that's something to watch out for. And like potentially the Scepter and Warehouse piles are susceptible to running. Also the Estate pile on the last turn, playing all your Scepters on Rangers. If you've got enough for double province and 5 Scepters, you get to, well, you only get to 6, 7 buys, so that doesn't seem like super likely to happen. All right, so I drew all my good cards at the top of the shuffle, which is quite nice for me. I guess I'm discarding copper and 2 silvers. And I guess I'm playing Imp Lookout, somewhat sadly. And unless I draw copper, if I draw exactly copper Devil's Workshop, I have to think a bit, but I didn't. Oh. I completely mistracked my deck. Awesome. Oops. So I cost myself a little bit of payload there. This doesn't matter. Okay. 11. Okay, yeah. So I cost myself a silver there. I should have just imped the Ranger and not trashed. So I can get to 14 with 2 buys, which could be Province Gold. Then if they go double Province, I go double Province. They are in trouble, and I don't think they can do much more than double Province. So sort of as a leading contender, Province Gold seems pretty nice. And having that extra silver would have put me at being able to buy Gold Scepter Warehouse. So I could just take 13 and 3 buys and buy double Scepter Warehouse for maximum Scepterage. As long as I can find the Ranger and a Scepter, I should be able to draw deck. Although that flips my Ranger over the wrong way. But again, if I'm playing Ranger Scepter, so play the Ranger, and now take the coins and buy double Scepter Warehouse. That does put me in the realm of double Province. I don't think I want the 3rd Imp. I don't think I want to be playing the Lookout very often. With this deck size, I'm almost never going to find it to put it on the Imp. So I say that right as I draw into Imp Warehouse, and right as Folivora probably plays Imp Warehouse at the beginning of their turn. So maybe you just have enough Imps that it always works out. Yeah, so I don't know. I tracked. I thought I had 2 coppers there, but I trashed one the turn before. So I could have just not trashed at all, played the ranger, and I would have drawn deck anyways. And then I would have had 2 more money, which would have let me buy Gold Scepter Warehouse, or 3 Scepters. Probably Gold Scepter Warehouse is what I would have bought, and then started doubling. The advantage to provincing first here, I think, is fairly strong. If you can get a single, then I can get a, well, yeah, if you get a single and then I get a double, I'm ahead, right? And then if you get a double, I'm in an awkward position where I can't take a double because then I lose to Province Duchy. But if you get a single province, I can always go province fleet or something. I don't know. I find that this kind of situation where you can get a single in something and then a double in something pretty strong. We'll see what they do here. Like I'm much if they get like province fleet and then I get province fleet and then they double province, I'm just in a lot of trouble because 2 turns of double provincing and I can only get 1 turn of double provincing. Now I regret having gotten double scepter warehouse and should have just gotten province scepter, I think. Although I didn't maybe have enough money in the deck to double consistently. So the difference here, I have 1 more scepter and 1 more silver. They have 1 more gold and a couple coppers still. They trashed a copper. I'll be interested to see what they do here. Province Fleet Warehouse seems pretty reasonable to me. It puts me in a really tough spot. I have more warehouses, which seems important because if you're not finding a warehouse near the tops of these shuffles, it can go badly. You don't end up getting your caravans in play. Realize they're starting with a 8-card hand, and then they can play an imp to C10, but there's, 20-something cards in these decks now. 10. I guess there's only 18 cards in their decks that aren't caravans. So they're fairly likely to find a warehouse near the top, but if they don't find a warehouse in that first 10 cards, it's pretty disastrous. Because then their next turn starts with only 5 cards. Yeah, they got the fleet there. Makes sense. And I think this should just be province for them. Okay, they disagree. Well, I certainly can't win because 19 is too many points, but I'm certainly going to take a province here. Okay, discard 3. Discard 3. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to play the lookout here. Discard. Discard 3. And yeah, so I can imp the ranger and then scepter it a couple of times. Imp the ranger. Okay. I do have money down there, so it makes sense to scepter it twice. Coins, so I've got 15 now. And I think the plan is just to go scepter, scepter gold. Potentially I can play a lookout next turn, but I could also go scepter province. I'm sorry, I want to get a scepter. I want to get a province no matter what. So I go province, scepter, or just province gold. I do obviously have to pick up the fleet at some point. And maybe I will take another imp just in case. I need something to look out at this point. This turn felt a little bit dicey in the draw, although I was overdrawing in the end. Province gold puts me much more in the realm of doubling pretty consistently. And I don't want more coppers, really, although yeah, I think I could think about that for a lot longer and maybe make a determination. The thing I said could happen to me, or happen to them, I don't have anything other than imp in my starting 5. I've got 4 more cards to look at to find, 4 warehouses or a lookout, or even I've got caravans in there and rangers and stuff. So it's not like I'm unlikely to draw, but any of these starting hands without warehouses are going to be dangerous. And I should be a little bit better in that front because I have more warehouses, although they have more caravans. So it's a mixed bag. And here they can play 2 scepters for draw. I think probably they can safely take another warehouse. It makes complete sense that they can take 1. They can probably take 2. They've got fleet and I don't, so I can't easily pile out and take fleet. Although I guess double scepter fleet, 1 warehouse is possible. I'm not going to get 2 warehouses. So if they want to get another warehouse, they can. That's nice. They were able to trash the Devil's Workshop. They should have 17, this looks like. So just double province. Yep. Okay. So now I double province and see what happens. Excellent start. All right, I think I need to imp this lookout fairly early on in this turn. I have a copper down there. I have some silvers I can end up trashing. I think I'm just going to play the warehouse first, see what I find. Okay, that was the copper, unfortunately. Guess I'll discard the lookout now. I think I still probably need to imp the that, but I can just imp this ranger now. Yeah, I didn't find that. Oh no, this has gone terribly wrong. What happened there? I just didn't have enough starting hand, I guess. I needed to imp that lookout. Now I just have to take 2 coins and take a province. And I can pick something up. Like, is research? I guess research is a consideration. I can imp it and then trash it and do something with it. This is a terrible shuffle, too. I don't have any good cards in the shuffle. So, yep. I guess I needed to imp that lookout earlier in the turn. It gives me 2 extra cards of draw, even if I end up trashing a silver. Well, they had a similar kind of issue. Not as bad, I think, because they got 2 caravans and played to my 1. But they did not find their warehouses either. I'm not 100% on what my last card of my deck, though. It's not the Devil's Workshop, because that's in the discard pile. What did I discard last turn? Gold, 2 scepters. Copper, gold, lookout, gold, 2 scepters. 2 silvers, Devil Workshop, lots of treasures. So I triggered a shuffle and drew copper, silver, gold, province, Devil's Workshop. So Seemingly, that's just another high-priced treasure down there. It's not a copper. It should be a gold even, potentially. Did I draw the gold? I only played one gold, so in theory it's another gold. I do have this caravan coming into play, but I'm not going to be able to do anything with it because I think I'm just drawing a gold. And I think I'm probably just going to take a province. See what they do here. If they double, I'm in a lot of trouble, knowing especially that they have a bunch of warehouses probably on top. They did not have enough for doubling, it looks like. I assume they'll just grab, yeah, a warehouse or something. The research is basically just something I can hit with imp, and then I can always trash another imp to it or a warehouse or something. Hopefully don't set aside my ranger, which is my only source of plus buy. It's been quite a long game. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can just kind of trigger this shuffle, and then all my actions are down there. And then I have to draw back around to this stuff next turn. I think I'm losing this game if I don't have a really good 2 turns from now. So, trash silver, leave a warehouse on top. Just buy a province. The fact that I'm missing fleet is a little bit difficult. Getting double for them doesn't seem that hard if they find their ranger, and they've got 2. I can this turn imp a caravan because I didn't find one last turn. I didn't have one last turn. My shuffle was deterministic. Yeah, this kind of goes back all the way back to the Devil's Workshop opening versus my caravan opening. They were able to get 6 caravans to my 4 and consistently have better stuff. And maybe this engine we were trying to build is weird and not the greatest thing in the world. How much money do they have? 8? So the advantage for me, I guess, I will have 3 caravans coming in the turn after next, if they don't win here, on the fleet turn. So if they buy a province, then I buy a province fleet. And then I've got 3 caravans coming in and they've got 1. My ranger token is not the correct split, so I have to use up 2 of my scepters to draw with ranger. I'm sure chat is saying the math behind this warehouse ranger scepter stuff does not work, and I believe you. I really, really do. If I can actually see research, I can trash the Devil's Workshop and set even more aside for next turn. That would be great. And I've got to research these 13 cards. I've got to research 3 warehouses, 3 caravans. Coins here? Province Duchies is a good line if they can get to it. They're sceptering the caravan. That feels awkward. Play the caravans first. Imp the warehouse. And I'm just going to go ahead and discard the Devil's Workshop here. Caravan. Warehouse. Whew, this is tough. So I basically need to draw all these things. So what do I want to research here? Nothing, probably. I run the risk of setting aside too many scepters and not being able to draw back with the ranger. But I've got 3 scepters down there, 2 scepters down there. I can also discard the research. Do it this way. So how many cards do I have in that discard pile? I have a lot, right? Gold, Province, Devil's Workshop. So I discarded 3 already this turn. There'll be 6 plus the 7 from last turn, including the caravan, is 13. So I cannot hope to like draw through them all. I think I have to try to high roll this. Okay, so I'm playing the Imp, playing the Research, trashing a Warehouse. I set aside 2 golds in a Caravan. Okay, play the Ranger, which is extremely difficult to click. Play the Ranger again. How do I find it? It is directly underneath the button that I'm supposed to hit. Okay. Yuck. Yeah, I didn't come close. I do have a bunch of stuff in my next starting hand, which is nice. So I have to take the fleet now, and state, and I don't really need another imp. So, in turn, hope they dud somehow. A decent starting drawing 4 at the start of the hand. Even if they find 1 province, yeah, I'd have to find 3 duchies. That's not, even 3 duchies is not enough. I'd have to find 4 duchies, which is 20, which I don't think I can do in my deck. Yeah, the fleet turn, yeah, I'm too far behind. I needed to hit 13 there to buy that province. I'm not quite sure what I could have drawn with that research that would have worked. I guess if the 3 cards I did draw, which were, what did I draw? What were the first 3 cards? Silver Province Warehouse. Yeah, if it says Silver Province Warehouse, I drew gold, whatever. It would have been much nicer. All right, find a warehouse here. Did not. Brutal. The remainder of my deck is almost entirely warehouses. Yeah, all my actions were bottom deck. I mean, it didn't matter. Okay, well, good game to Folivora. And we move on to game 4.